Millions of videos have been made on Baldur's Gate 3, and the community is pushing the game to its absolute limit in challenges and other content. People have even mentioned how Larian wants us to play the game. So I'm going to beat Baldur's Gate 3 by doing everything very wrong. I mean everything.
What the hell? Where am I? Some of our objectives are in Chinese. What?
So you know this is going to be a good video. Today I use mods and exploits and overpowered items to beat the game by doing nothing as intended, and well, it led to some unexpected consequences.
What the hell is...
Make sure to stick around till the end of the video as you watch everything that could go wrong. And let me know in the comments if you think I should make an Act 2 video for the series as well. The rules are very simple. Wherever possible, we must try to progress the game out of order, in stupid ways, and in general just try to break the game wherever possible. Whether by my actions, and sometimes not even my own actions, that cause the game to break. The actual challenge we're doing is 100% completionist, but it quickly evolved into something else entirely. This was easily the most fun I've had in Baldur's Gate 3 in a long time. Hope you enjoy. So I booted up the game. The very first question I asked myself when looking at the BG3 mod manager was, can I install all of them? The answer, of course, was yes, and the rest is history. Here we are, 9 actual hours later, and the mods are still installing. I have so many mods in the list, it's not even telling me how many I have. I've done it. Rest in peace my entire Steam account. But surely it's gonna be just fine. The game's going to absolutely love this. When creating my character, I noticed I had a few more options in the character creator. Yeah, just a few. I decided on a Dragonborn Wildheart and named him the 0.0001 FPS Urge. Until realizing I didn't even select the Dark Urge origin for my character. Whoops! I also gave myself not just one set of hair, but 2 that immediately began clipping through each other and spazzing out. We wake up on the Nautiloid and get a small taste of the broken game to come. Also, because the million translation mods I installed, every spell description and title is totally messed up, and it's hilarious. We headed into the next room and made sure to free us, but also as a side effect from the mods, I realized the DC of everything can't actually be viewed, and that's when things began to get very crazy. We meet Lae'zel, who rushed us into combat with imps, where I then realized the UI mods either broke the health or just doesn't show enemy health. We are in no condition to fight against 5 imps, so I just teleport everyone to Shadowheart, before realizing I am now also moving at the speed of Usain Bolt. We reached the tutorial chest and geared ourselves up. Following that, we freed Shadowheart. I had seen too many cursed things today, and hightailed it to the helm. Before that, I upgraded Lae'zel with a bunny suit and Warglaives of Azzinoth. No idea what those are. They definitely won't have any impact on the coming fight. And I also gave myself the Sword of True Death. It only deals 1,000 damage, before we entered and stumbled into a massive battle. It's also important to mention that I installed 2/3 of these mods before I even read what they did. So I am proceeding into this video completely blind. That's why I was caught completely off guard when the Nautiloid battle began.
Do it. We will deal with the gate after we escape.
Damn, Lae'zel, you're looking nice today. Wait, what the heck? What the... what? Hello? Why does... What the hell is that? Wait, is that a giant fuck you? Is that a giant fuck you sword? Fire elemental? Yeah, God, what the... Okay.
Well, an entire race war broke out between the demons and Illithids. We fought our way past the enemies and made it to the transponder. But I just couldn't leave without the fuck you sword. And with our vastly superior gear, we take out Zhalk, and immediately realize that turns everyone hostile because there are multiple mind flayers and intellect devourers. We obtained the sword and made it into the transponder, sending us into Act 1. We saved the mangled remains of Shadowheart on the beach. I desperately wanted to replace her with other less cursed characters, so we go searching for some. But first, we return to camp and remove our multiple sets of glitching hair. You will be missed. Let's go recruit a Starian.
You can kill it, Carl.
With a Shortian in our party, we investigate the suspicious rune, and we're completely unprepared for what came out of it.
I can't see the DC.
Then, as we geared ourselves up and geared our entire party, we witnessed some things man never should. The chapel and the bandits pose absolutely no threat to us, and we descended to the catacombs to finish off the survivors. Also, I don't know why, but every single time I use an action or someone in my party does an action, a menu appears with the action name every single time. If someone knows what that mod is, please comment below so I can remove it, because I don't want to play the whole game with it active. You'll soon see why. Exploring the crypts would surely yield treasure, but there are always traps, right? Well, here's one of them. From that point on, I would never touch the crypt again, and proceeded to the Emerald Grove. On the way, I beamed a tiefling to death with Scorching Ray, and we brought Lae'zel into our team instead of Astarion. There are a massive number of goblins attacking the grove, and there aren't many defenders besides Will, who has a new hairstyle. But we have the power of God and anime on our side, and Lae'zel nukes all the enemies at once with the Chaos Nova ability from the Warglaives. Some of the enemies have unique magic items and gear, so we are itching to explore and take them all on. We do some shopping at the grove, and oh my god, look what happened to Aaron. It turns out almost every NPC in the entire world has the same design as if they were half a Lithid. This also must have messed up Aaron's brain, because he's selling me some very weird items like nothing and scroll of call lightning. This place is clearly messed up, so we make sure to save Arabella and bring Will into our team before leaving. We also get level 4 and head to the Blighted village. This is where we discover Lae'zel's abilities are just too overpowered. But the game give and the game taketh away, as I witnessed one of the strangest bugs I've ever seen when I attacked and killed Fezzik at the windmill. Die.
Looking to die,
Wait. What the hell? Surrendered. Wait, they're not moving. Can I just loot?
After we literally deleted the Nolls by the cave and obtained the chest, we spoke to Karlach and said goodbye to the mangled mess that was Shadowheart. We then make our way to the Goblin camp gates to show these filth who the real main characters are of the story, by killing all of them in just 2 actions. Now, because I was bored of constant spells, I headed back to Withers to respec into a Dragon Tamer, which allows you to summon a little tiny dragon and attack multiple times. Now that we were in the heart of the camp, I wanted to ask the very important question. How many goblins can die at once? I pissed off the goblins and then used Lae'zel's OP Chaos Nova ability to kill every single goblin in the main area. This left the 2 ogres, one of which was easily killed by Lae'zel and the other by Karlach. We also recruited a hireling and made her into an arcane archer, which apparently is friggin' useless. She won't remain in our party for long, as she makes attacks that don't one-hit enemies or inflict 30 status effects on them, so that's bad. We begin our purge of the goblins just to see if they have any good loot, and for no other reason. Literally no other reason. We also do some trading with Roa Moonglow, and immediately forget that all humans look like half-Lithids. Priestess Gut is holding a vile ritual in the main room, so we use Ice Breath on her, angering her, and for some reason, without warning, the screen just fades to black. It was like this for about 20 seconds, before combat finally began properly. She tries to attack us with her magic, but we have superior magic in comparison to her, and she's easily defeated. My plan was to rat out the grove to Minthara and defend it, but first, I wanted to do some other quests, including dealing with Ethel, so we headed toward her swamp. For no in-character reason, we bashed a red cap over the head and surprised ourselves. This also caused my character to become so surprised he wasn't even there when he took his turn, and his model was completely missing. But all in all, the red caps weren't very hard to deal with. We speak to Ethel, making her very angry, causing her to attack. Our goal is to reduce her to a low HP, but not kill her to potentially make that fight easier. But I forgot that the staff that gave Gale bonus to damage on spells also applied to weapons, so I had him attack and unintentionally killed Ethel. But that was too easy, so I made Gale revive her and she just sat there. When talking to her, she asked which eye she could take, to which we responded by attacking her again and killing her again. only to revive her a second time and repeat this process for 10 minutes. This would cause some serious problems later down the line. Once we were satisfied, we revived Ethel, attacked her, and let her get away, where she used eye bite twice before vanishing. We followed her into her basement, past the masked slaves that didn't even acknowledge us, and into the most annoying part of the basement. These flowers are supposed to burst into fire when my character touched them, but my character instead fell to their death. So, I used my character constantly dying to get past all the poison clouds that also resulted in instant death. Even the objectives began to break for killing Ethel 11 times. When we finally reached Mayrina, Ethel appeared and combat broke out. Lae'zel used her glaives, dropped Ethel down to just half HP, and inflicted her with a bajillion status effects. Everyone else just railed on her. Our goal was to reduce her to under 15 HP so we could get her hair. She summoned the masked slaves, which are now somehow against me. They were quickly dealt with, and we were confident that Ethel would just surrender, so we ended our turns. I could have never guessed what came next. Just roll the clip. This actually happened. None of this is edited.
Wait, what? What is that?
Trust I make myself clear.
What the hell is this? What the frick is happening? So I'm pretty sure the cutscene was supposed to play, but then she died.
For some reason, Ethel died, was resurrected, repeated the conversation before a boss battle, then continued fighting. And when I mean fighting, I mean spamming 3 eye bite spells a turn. She refused to do anything else, and not sure what to do, we killed her for good. I hope. We then returned to the Goblin camp to speak with She goes to raid the grove, but before that we visit Ragslin, and promptly obliterate him with Lae'zel. This angers the entire camp, and after some small fights, we reach level 6. In preparation, we head to the camp to rest, in order to progress the quest and battle Minthara at the Druid's Grove. I had planned to raid the grove with her, but after seeing just how cursed she looked, I decided I had to get rid of her. We headed to the grove with all of our gear to battle Minthara, and sounded the horn. She has tons of goblins, spiders, and other enemies that accompany her, and the grove defenders are few and far between, meaning we would have no chance of just kidding. We sent Lae'zel down to the middle of the enemies, and blasted all of them. Gale uses once a day Circle of Death to obliterate the right side of the map, and the goblins weren't able to fight back. Minthara was still pretty powerful as she hugged Asherak, then used Vow of Enmity on Lae'zel 5 times, and I have no idea why. The fight then devolved into utter chaos, but in my attempts to get Minthara to safety, I killed her. Maybe that's a good thing. After a night of partying, which was unbelievably cursed because of everyone looking like half-elithids, and also some truly broken objects, I went to bed. Then, disaster came as I woke up in the morning for the game to crash. Any attempts to reload the world were simply met with another crash. So sadly, we had to nuke that save file and start fresh. Let me just progress until that night, see you in 9 hours. Okay, we're back. We removed Lae'zel's OP weapons and leveled up our characters to level 6. We needed to defeat some Paladins of Tyr in order to get Karlach on our side, but I had a plan. Lae'zel had a horn to summon Gorgeous George, a powerful ogre bodyguard that is also Employee of the Month, and we had a spell to summon a duplication chest that, whenever anything is placed in it, doubles the amount of it. This allows us to all get horns eventually, and summon our own Gorgeous Georges. These paladins do not stand a chance. Combat began, and I had my character and other party members jump up onto the second floor and destroy the ways up to it. Now it is simply between a battle between the paladins and the Georges. George number 1 whacks the tiny lady while the second one gets mad and attempts to polymorph Anders or whatever this animation is. Cyril attempts to bring the refugee back into the fight, but it completely breaks their animations and skips their turn. George number 1 and 2 attempt to polymorph again, and George 3 deals a deadly blow to Anders. He's looking pretty rough, guys. George number 4 is currently stuck, but will he be back in this fight, folks? The Paladins are attacking, but they cannot hit AC 24, and I have no idea why their AC is 24. George 1 whacks Elaine, and George 3 whacks Anders under half HP. Oh my god, Anders is getting ruined right now. George 4 gets a free hit on Cyril as she tries to keep that refugee alive, but George 4 turns her into a sheep. A killer javelin from George kills Turn, and a massive blow from George 3 KOs Anders. George 3 impales Elaine with some help from George 1, and George 2 with the finisher! This fight will go down in Faerun history, folks. Okay, I'll stop. We grabbed some smoke powder bombs and used the duplication chest to get some more. Not that many. Only 2,880 smoke powder bombs, which would be our absolute salvation. We descended to the Underdark through the spider pit, only to find our gorgeous Georges didn't have Featherfall active. Rest in peace, gorgeous George. You'll be remembered. We fought the Bullet, one of the most dangerous enemies in the entire Underdark. Okay, yeah, we obliterated it without any issue. After getting some quests in the Myconids, I wanted to have a massive battle against not just the Duergar at the beach, but way more of them. I sent all my companions to the farthest beach after we dispatched of some redcaps, and used an infamous pot to steal Gek's boat. We are immediately interrupted by some Duergar and attack them, followed by immediately jumping into the water, which causes all the Duergar to disappear and our body to wash up on the shore. Once we're revived, we gather all of our forces to get ready for the biggest beach battle ever. Is what I wrote in the script. In reality, we mowed down the army of zombies and Duergar with our AoE spells and attacks, which devastated their ranks. In just 3 turns, the fight had gone from a 4v16 to a 4v3. Almost every enemy spent their turn fearful, on fire, or had some hindrance, allowing the fight to be easily won. We head into Grymforge completely unchallenged, and we're here for 2 things: the Rune Powder Vial and the Rune Powder Barrel. Both can be obtained from Philomene, and we make our way over to her hiding place. We make sure to pickpocket the vial and steal the barrel before talking to her, triggering a fight with her, but her level 1 smells are no match for the 0.002 FPS Urge. Now we can just use the duplication chest to get a few Rune Powder Vials and bombs. Yeah, just a few and definitely not 500,000. We'll need these items for later. Now we could just use a Rune Powder Vial to free Nier, but that's not classy enough, so we need to use 240 of them, which somehow don't vaporize the ground as well. Nier does the unthinkable and kill a slave that I should have killed. So we turn on him. The fight starts horribly as Nier coerces Lae'zel into attacking and nearly killing Gale. But we get him back up onto his feet, only for Nier to coerce Lae'zel into freeing Gale, then knocking him and killing him. In order to get Lae'zel away from me, I misclick to throw her into the lava, where she quickly begins burning and dies, leaving only me and Astarion against 9 enemies. But come on, do you really think that stopped me? No. I smote Nier to death, used flame land attacks to obliterate the few remaining enemies, with some help from Astarion. That only left the Scrying Eye, which has damage reduction up the wazoo. But maybe a Rune Powder Barrel could... That's all we need to do in the Underdark, complete. And we head to the mountain pass next. We get level 8 here, and unlock a feat. Truth be told, we were already getting a feat per level, and normal people would get a good feat, like Medium Armor Master. I think I'll get 20 Intelligence for Gale, as I have been for the last 6 levels. I think it's safe to say that Gale is the smartest man alive. Fuck you, Mimir. And yes, we can summon Mimir in the game. We reach the monastery and enter the Githyanki Creche, using Lae'zel to help us get in. But it seems a massive battle has already begun in the Creche, as I stumble into a massive fight between devotees of Lothander that look like Illithids, and an OP arcane turret that can flame strike 3 times in a single fucking turret. What the I assumed the whole Creche was hostile during the battle, as the Githyanki in the fight were, so I attacked one of the Githyanki. Oh goddammit, did we start another race war? The battle went on so long, it spilled into the captain's room, which broke the game, and caused Inquisitor Wargaz to just stand there, forever. Once it was all over, he told us to go see him. Alright, we can. We insert the Gith shard into the barrier, and enter. But going in to talk to him immediately triggers a fight with him the moment we enter the hallway. I didn't know what to do, so I just killed all of them. No dialogue for our party, thanks. Vlaakith appears, and she orders us to kill our Dream Guardian. You also might be wondering, who is our Dream Guardian? Well, I'll just let this clip play of when I first encountered the Dream Guardian after forgetting about the decisions I made in character creation for about 5 hours.
What? Pool trip? Is that you? What the hell is...
Yes.
There was no way I was gonna kill Pooldrip the Zealous for some Githyanki goddess, so I spared him and told Lae'zel that Vlaakith was lying to her. I got this information from a literal fish, and yet I believe it more than a goddess. We decided it would ultimately be better to just leave the Creche, and easily defeated some undead blocking our path, to reach the entrance to Act 2. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. Let me know if you want a series on this, as it will take me a while, and I really would appreciate if you could find whatever mod that displays actions as UI prompts on screen, so I can remove it, because I don't want to deal with that for a whole ass playthrough. I am planning on making a commentary video before any future parts come out, and I have some very exciting announcements, so make sure to turn on all notifications for when I make those announcements. Also, go watch this video on screen, and I'll see you later.